Okay, guys, so we are looking at the finished working drawing. And first thing I'm going to do is save this guy as our assembly drawing. I don't wreck this one. Okay. And now it's time to have some fun with this thing, right? Uh, you know what I'm realizing is I am going to look at the final picture of this guy because I want to know what it looks like when it's done here. So I have that handy on my screen as well. I know you can't see it, but you should be viewing it too. Have it somewhere while you're putting this thing together. So we are going to do top, front, and right side just like we did before. We have all those views at our disposal right now. So let's get started. We'll go with the, how about the front view to begin with here? Okay. So the front view is looking at the tool rest holder in this position right here. I'm going to just drag this stuff out. So, so it's not in the way. I'm going to turn off the dimensions. Don't need those on this drawing. Pull this guy off and kind of do my assembly work over here. Okay. And right away, I got to get rid of this here. So we don't need any of that stuff. And we'll just extend these lines out. And I can just type extend if I wanted, or extend them individually. I'm going to do X. Okay, awesome. So I got the holder in position. I'm going to zoom out just a little here. Next piece for our front view. Let's go with the, how about the clamp here? So that would be this view right here. And I'm just going to put that somewhere kind of in the middle here, about right there. Okay. And then linking these two together is going to be our bolt. So that's this guy here and the washer as well. So I'll move him. And I'm going to grab him by his center so that I can line him up with this thing on center. Something like that. Leave a little room for the washer. Maybe right there. You know what? Let me get those two together first. So I'm going to put him here, and then I'm going to put the washer on him right now, because they really go together. Zoom in on that stuff a little bit here so I can see what I'm doing. Grab it by the middle. Put it on the middle of this one there. Boom. Looking good. That's funny. I just realized I think I should have made that slightly bigger. Boy, I thought that stood out beyond the edges. It is right on the corners. I think just for fun, I am going to make this thing a little bigger, 1/16 larger. Oh, 1/32 larger. Offset that guy 1/32 more all the way around. Okay. And so that would do the same to these guys. There we go. So just make that guy a little bigger, just so it stands out a little better. Extend that up. Sorry, so I just made that thing 1/32 larger. Just offset the whole thing 1/32. And let's see what that looks like when I put them together now. That's better, just slightly bigger. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And this guy, I know it's going to be used again, so I'm going to just copy him right now. Grab a copy of him for this and put him on the center line of that thing. And technically, it would rest on the bottom of this hidden line here if if we're doing this correctly. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I zoomed in here just so I could show you that. But I'm just going to move them down. So I got them lined up and down like this. But just bringing them in here so we rest right flush on that surface there. Look at the washer just gets absorbed completely. But and if you wanted to have it floating a little bit above, whatever, just to be able to see the different lines, I think that would be fine. I think I'm going to do that. Just a little bit of float there, just so you can see the lines aren't quite on top of each other. That's perfect. Okay. Zoom out. So zoom out some more here. And I'm going to go to the right. I guess, what view am I in here anyway? The left side, or actually, technically, that would be the front, huh? Put that guy in place here. Make sure those are lined up. Just over here, give it some room. And then this is what I was saying with this. You could either copy that bolt or move this one into place. I do want to get them at the right height though, but that shouldn't be too hard. I'm gonna zoom in on that and move this guy. And remember what I was doing here. Just moving basically from the bottom middle of that so it lines up with the bottom of this guy. And just kind of floating it above that space a little bit so that just so you can see how it fits in there and it's right not quite on top of the lines. Okay. At some point you got to decide what's going to stay object and what's going to be hidden. Technically, all of this would be hidden, and you could do that if you wanted. I'm not going to mess with that. I do need to bring this guy over right here. And I want to get him on the same line as this one here. Just either I could draw a line or I could just kind of eyeball this. I'm using the AutoCAD's. You can see that dashed line there. It does a little projection for you if you're careful. And now I'll just move it again. I know I got close. Right across there. Boom, right on, okay. So far, so good. We got the bunch of these pieces lined up. Zoom out. Um, I'd knock out this blade. I want to see how that's going to fit in before I go much further because it's really big and it could interfere. So I'm going to grab this one here. And it floats, it's meant to be adjustable. We just got to be consistent. So I think I'm going to put it pretty much just right there. So it's floating above a little bit. I just need to be consistent with the other one. I could draw a line across if I wanted to do that just to help me guide this other one in. I think I'm going to do that. Perfect. Okay. Still waiting to do that top view. What else do we got to put in here? The pin and the handle. That's pretty easy. We can do this one right now. Let me zoom in on this. So this thing looks we're gonna have it be the same in well, let's see. Let me move this first. Move that from the center to there. Okay. And that little bit that sticks out in the end is supposed to be ball peened. In other words, smashed to fit that space. And actually rounded out. So technically, this all goes away. You could leave it like that or extend the curve around if you wanted. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And place this guy. So he goes in this screw here, the set screw. Um, I think I have this arranged a little differently, but I think in the side view, I'm going to copy this guy and I'm going to rotate him 90 degrees. So just RO enter and then 90 enter. And I'm going to place him in the set screw over here, or move the set screw to the, basically to the middle of this. There we go. And now insert that into this view over here. I'm going to grab the middle end and place that right there. Boom. Perfect. So in this view here, the question is, do you want to have it doing the same thing. Do you want to have it in here vertical or do you want to have it going across horizontal? Uh, if if you're being accurate, it would be vertical in this view, the handle. But that's going to place it on top of all this stuff. And whatever. What does this thing look like when it's vertical? It looks just like this. It looks exactly the same. So you could copy it from its midpoint and move it. Get rid of these bits. And put it right there. So that's what it would be like vertical. That's what I was saying, a lot of lines on top of each other, and we haven't put the set screw in yet, which is also this. And that definitely has to go in there. So grabbing its center point and putting it on here. A lot of stuff. I think I'm going to leave the handle like that. I know it's a little crowded. It might look better if it were horizontal, but whatever. It's done. Just be consistent, however you decide to mount it. If you're having it horizontal in this view, then it needs to be horizontal in this view. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for those two views. And now we have the top view to do. And, you know, the question is, how do you want to orientate the top view? I am going to have it over this view. So technically the way I'm going to have it laid out is we'd have a front view, a top view, and a left side view. So that's how it's going to be laid out for me. So I'm going to move this guy. Get him lined up. I'm going to have to, you know what, I'm going to have to draw a line here because I need some space. The real reason I need some space is this blade is huge and I need to position that first. That's what I need to bring over first. So let me grab that. I need to leave room for it. All right, I think that'll work. And then I can move this guy. Good. And then, of course, our clamp. Put him over here and need to rotate him 90 degrees. And make sure he's lined up here. I'm going to draw another line just so I can get this for sure lined up correctly. Okay. And of course, the bolt and washer. Put those together and then move them together. Awesome. This guy here, it's not supposed to be there. Rotate him. And let's put his handle in place. So his handle in the top view is just this ball. So let me zoom in on there. All you're going to see is this ball portion is up, so that's the one we're going to use. There it is. So that is the set screw and the handle together. Grab it by the midpoint at the end there, and that is, let me zoom in on here so place this accurately. So it goes right up against this surface here, which is this, in this view, it's just round because it's going to sit flush with that. So I'm going to grab it by the midpoint there and put it right there. Right on. Okay. Got some overlapping center lines. You might want to clean those up. Just pull this guy out. Bunch of overlapping center lines. Just get rid of rid of any of those overlapping ones so that you can see the actual dashes. You may want to put one here. You may want to get rid of some overlapping circles. It's up to you how much detail you want. What stays hidden and what's not. We got a bunch of overlapping hidden lines here, of course. You can go through and do the fine detail work on that on your own. But basically, that is it. That is the assembled view. And just like last time, you're going to go through and put little notes, the leaders pointing to each part, and make the little table with their names and materials and such. And I'll post that in a little bit.